96.7 Lights FM.
Light FM, I'm Cubby, that's Christine, and this is, I think, is Pink.
Hi.
You're Pink?
Sometimes.
Welcome back.
Hi, old friend. Feels like it's been 48 years.
I never forget the year 2000. Christine and I were working at Z100, and you came up with a song called There You Go.
Oh, yeah.
We thought it'd be a hit, and look at you now.
I know.
It was a hit and then some.
God, 23 years ago.
Yeah, how does that make you feel? Does it feel like a minute's gone by, or does it feel like 23 years has gone by?
It feels like both. It's funny, we don't age, our kids do. That's how I feel about life. And I feel like I'm 23 years old. I'm so immature still. So it's just a strange thought.
Yeah.
I mean, hang on to that. It's serving you well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I still dress the same.
You look
No, I
great.
did not make this. I wish I could.
Yeah, who are you wearing? Since we're on camera,
I have no
you know.
idea.
You have no idea?
This guy.
Yep. Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
Now, was that a gift, or did you own that, or did you buy that?
No, I don't know where it came from.
Let's see what it says.
It's hot.
Found it.
It's a thank you teddy bear. I think it says thank you on there.
Say thank you.
I think so, right?
I'm a grateful for this. Is not a. I can't even read. I need
Okay.
glasses now.
Canal Street, right? It's Canal Street.
I don't know.
I'm kidding.
My daughter went out and got me earrings off the street yesterday. I was so proud of her.
And how old is she now?
11.
11, and she's buying stuff, jewelry.
She was supervised, but
Right.
she wasn't just out on the streets on her own.
Christine and I are so happy about Trustfall, the new album.
Saying
I
it's
mean,
such a beautiful album.
and you
Yeah,
started off
I
deep
love it.
with that first song on the album.
Yeah, that was a choice.
Yeah.
I'm told often that people don't listen to albums anymore, and it's probably true for the most part, but the sequencing of that album was so important to me, and we really, really took our time with that, because if you are going to go on that journey, for me, it's like when we first meet, right? How are you? Well, can I really tell you how I'm doing? Like, let's get all the
Do that
BS
again,
out of the
please.
way. Let's get all the BS out of the way and have a real conversation.
Right.
And that's how I opened the album, which is like, okay, we'll dance, we'll get there, we'll have a good time, but right now I want to talk about something.
That's interesting. I always thought it was just like, throw the tracks on, we're done. But no, there's a.
No, because I could have had like, okay, this is your dance party, side A, and side B is no sharp objects in the kitchen. But life is like, it's all kinds of
Ebbs and
messy.
flow.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that first song is about the loss of your dad, which,
Yes.
I'm sorry, but there's so many of us who relate to that song. The first time I listened to it, I was sobbing, and I've seen you perform it, and you were crying, and
I really almost got through it. I tried so hard to keep it together.
Is that going to be a problem when you do it, or you
Yeah,
have to
when
just
you-
do it more and more, and eventually you'll be better?
I'll eventually just numb right down, put my feelings right in my back pocket, and shove them way down deep.
but I think it's helping so many people. So many of us relate to it, and then
Yeah.
we feel
I lost my mom 2 years ago, so it hit me hard. And then the whole COVID thing and the pandemic, really played a big part in your life too. Because
Absolutely.
you're one of the first celebrities I remember
Yes.
Christine and I talking about, like when COVID was really getting hard, and your name came up first as one of the first celebrities dealing with it. And
Yeah, it was a terrible, terrible, terrible time. I feel like we're all just walking around with this sort of low-level trauma.
good album
It's
title,
the
by
first, the way. Yeah. Beautiful trauma. There's a ring to it.
That's right. It's been done by you. Not low-level trauma.
Low-level trauma. That's my band name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I always listen to my dad, who's a Vietnam vet, right? He's like, your generation doesn't know how to go through shit. And I'm like, okay, well, I was homeless, Dad, so whatever. But I feel like this is our generation's first thing. And it's scary, especially for our kids, when they're looking at us like, what are the answers? We're good, right? And the parents are like, I don't know if we're good. We might not be good. And my kid got really sick. And when your kid gets sick, or when you lose a parent, or when you lose anyone really close to you, it just really quickly distills life down into what actually matters. And that was how I walked through the making of this record. It's my 9th album, 11th if you count the You and Me record I did and the Greatest Hits. But like, if I'm gonna go out if I'm gonna put myself out there still, then I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna
Go all the
dive
way.
head first
Right.
into an empty pool at night. That's how I made the record, which I wouldn't recommend doing. My uncle did that, and it didn't go well.
So is that where Trustfall comes from? It's
Yeah.
and are you speaking to your kids? in that song?
I think Turbulence, the song Turbulence is sort of me walking Willow through anxiety, because I think all kids have anxiety now, and it's really prevalent, and so do the rest of us. But Trustfall is how I feel about life in general. It feels like life requires a lot of trust from us as human beings right now. Getting out of bed in the morning, dropping your kids off at school, going to a public place, participating in elections, having an opinion, having a vagina. All kinds of things are political and interesting and dicey, and we don't, I feel like for a lot of us, we feel like we're falling backwards sometimes, and you know that feeling where you don't know where the ground is? And that's sort of where Trustfall started in my head.
Wow.
I know, it's a lot up here.
Well,
it's a lot. And I do this all day.
Right.
I just read something on Instagram that said, I'm an overthinker. You can't hurt my feelings. I already hurt my feelings.
Sounds familiar, right?
I
Christine,
hurt
you
my
and I
own
are
feelings.
overthinkers.
Again, relatable. Yes,
Right,
absolutely.
right.
So your writing, does that come from, do you journal every day, or do you just go straight to song?
I go straight to song. I write things down on my phone as I go. Family Portrait was the poem I wrote the day my dad left. So I started that song when I was 8. But no, like, okay, for instance, Hate Me. That wasn't written down anywhere. That was just what happened that day.
What about Get the Party
poor
Started?
great Kirsten. Get the Party Started, Linda Perry wrote.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
That's right. That's
but
right.
I stalked her, so I can take some credit.
Right. That was just a flat out party song. So, and then you had Raise Your Glass. That was you, right?
I wrote that with Max
you wrote that.
Shellback.
Yep. 60 million records, by the way. 60 you've sold.
I feel like they said that last time. Shouldn't it be more by
80
now?
million records you sold. 80 million records you sold.
We just heard more.
Do you,
More being sold.
95 million records you sold. Actually, I have a fun story. I want to do a quick selfish moment. Everyone always asks me if I speak at a high school or whatever, they'll go, hey, do you have a famous story about a famous person? And I bring you up all the time because I don't know if you remember this or not, but the first time I interviewed you 23 years ago, Steven Tyler was in the same building.
Oh, okay.
We took a picture together, right? Then you came up 2 years later, and I always reintroduce myself because you meet a lot of people. I go, hi, I'm Cubby. And you went, I know you are. You're on my fridge every day.
Yeah.
Because I was on, I tell people I was on Pink's fridge because you put that picture up, but you didn't crop me out.
No.
And I think that's the coolest story, and that's the best story I have.
And that one of those radio shows was when I attacked him and made him sing on my Misunderstood record.
Oh, I did not know that. That whole conversation started there.
Yeah.
At the probably our Jingle Ball. Yeah. Wow.
Oh.
Look at that behind the
It
music.
all comes together.
Yeah. But I'm off the fridge now.
Well, my fridge doesn't nothing magnetizes
I know.
to
The
it
ours
anymore.
doesn't
I
either.
don't know what happened. It's
Those days are
Where do you put
over.
your kids' artwork now?
Yeah. Where do you put the artwork?
it's everywhere. God, it's everywhere. And then I'm like, has it been long enough? Can I take that one down?
Exactly.
I'm like, do you want to keep this? Yes, you do? Are you sure? It doesn't look like it took very much time.
You feel guilty throwing it out. Right. Exactly.
Plus, Willow loves to sing with you. We've heard her.
She does.
Yeah, she's got
She
a
sings
beautiful,
like a
beautiful
bird.
voice.
She really
yeah.
does. She's so effortless too. She sounds so much better than I did at her age. I drive her to school in the morning, and she's just over here just singing away, and I'm like, how do you hit those notes in the morning? She's just effortless.
What have you told her about this business? I know she's learning it firsthand,
She's been in it with me. I mean,
Right.
she's on the road since she was born.
so she doesn't know any
So
different.
she only knows my version, which is I have an awesome family on the road, and she grew up with them, and they're all beautiful, talented humans. And I wish I would have had the opportunity to walk in a backstage area when I was a child, because there's so many different departments that you don't think about when you look at the singer. There's dancers, there's wardrobe, there's lighting, there's sound, there's catering, there's so many different departments, and we're all just carnies. We all just ran away and knew there was a family out there waiting for us to love, and that we could do our creative thing. And there's so many different ways you can be a part of what we do, and I'm glad that Willow gets to see that, because you don't have to want to be the front man. You can, or the front woman. But it's cool. I'm like, where's Willow? She's in wardrobe. What's she doing? Sewing a pillow. Okay. Well, can you tell her it's time for fresh juice and catering?
That's
no,
awesome.
I want to finish my pillow. I'm like, okay, whatever. Can you fix my button then?
That's great. I love
So
it.
you guys are heading on the road again, you and Willow.
Yeah, and Jameson now.
Yes. Aw.
This will be the first one he remembers, if he remembers it.
Yeah, you have a big tour lined up. Are you going to be?
I do.
Are you going to be doing the strings and all that? Because one of the best shows I ever
Strings.
saw.
That's new, Cubby. I've never heard
I'll
it
never
called
forget
that.
the iHeartRadio Music Festival many years ago. You were on strings. You were flying around, and I was nervous. I'm like, Pink's going to die right here. But you, it
That's
was.
what's exciting about it, is that I might.
I've never seen anybody do it though. You're like the
I-
pioneer of that.
I went to Cher's concert and I saw the dancers and I was like, why do they get to have all the fun? That looks like so much fun. Why don't singers do that? And then I just learned. It's really fun. I wanted to be an Olympic gymnast before, well, simultaneously, but I got kicked out. That didn't work out. But now I get to use all of those skills and that muscle memory, and it's just all kind of...
But to breathe and sing and do all that,
Yes,
it must
I'm
be very
thinking
hard.
the same thing.
Yeah, right?
How do you do
Well, I'm
all
not
that?
Adele. I'm not singing. I'm screaming. So what? It works out.
It works out.
Well, but Glitter in the Air, I guess, was a pretty ballad. I've been a lifelong asthmatic. So when I was a child, I used to have to do diaphragmatic exercises before bed every night, and I think that also served me in what I do now. So it's kind of interesting how it all plays in.
Well, I just wanted to ask you about your time in New York. I don't know how much downtime you get. It looks like you don't get a lot. But
Yeah, we flew from London on Friday, I think.
Thursday.
Thursday
You landed
night?
Friday, I think.
That's right.
I tracked your flight.
Thank you. And I got to take the weekend with the kiddos and take them to Wicked and Harry Potter the musical. And we went to Candytopia yesterday, which was amazing.
have you been to Candytopia?
No, I need to go.
I think
Like an
this is something
immersive
new.
candy experience.
Oh, no wonder
Bring
you're...
sanitizer.
Okay. But you're on a sugar high right now. That's what you are.
I'm coming down.
My wife wants to know what you binge watch. I was brushing my teeth last night. I said, we're talking to Pink tomorrow. Any questions? Yeah, what does she binge watch?
White Lotus.
We just finished
Yes.
that. Both seasons, yeah.
Yellowstone.
Okay.
I'm watching Grey's Anatomy from the very beginning with my daughter.
All colors, by the way. White Lotus.
Oh, yeah.
Yellowstone. Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy.
What else?
Wow.
Yeah.
You're perceptive. I never thought of that. I will tell you what, Grey's Anatomy is a conversation starter. Woo! And there's a lot of pausing and fast forwarding. But it's interesting. I'm like, so Willow, let me explain to you what appropriate workplace behavior is. And that is her mentor, and he should not be treating her that way.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
good.
funny. Do you have time to watch these shows, though?
Yeah, every night. We read books together. Yeah.
What's probably the number one question you get from your fans?
From the fans. Oh, God.
Because you have a lot of diehard fans. What do they want? What do they ask the most?
I don't get a lot of questions. I get a lot of shares. Like, people share stuff, really intimate stuff with me.
But do you interact with your fans, though?
Yeah.
I see you.
I do. I interact with my fans and my not fans.
Really? Okay. So you don't mute them. You interact. Does that make you
I
feel
just
better when
interact.
you?
Occasionally, me and my daughter were on a mommy-daughter date night a couple weeks ago, and I hit off a couple zingers. She was like, that one was so funny. Can we watch the movie now? I was like, yes. Put my phone away.
That's
People-
what I see a lot on social, and my friends and I feel about you is because your music is so personal and so relatable that you're giving a voice to people who don't necessarily have a voice, who have the platform. Again,
Yeah.
people being seen, being heard, understood.
It's a very intimate, authentic connection. That's how I feel about it. And it's been that way, I think, since I put out Family Portrait. I still remember being at Regis and Kelly and a fan outside telling me things that I felt like I should report. And I didn't know what to do about it. It was so much. And I was like, oh, that was really heavy. And I need to help that girl. And I had somebody go out. She wrote it in a letter. I had somebody go outside and look for her because I wanted to, save her. And it's been that way ever since. I'm sharing what I'm going through open-heartedly, and people share back. And then you get to a concert, and it feels like, I can see everyone in there, and it feels like group therapy. It feels like we're exercising our demons together. And people say, you healed me. I'm like, well, I think we're healing together. I think we're healing each other. So
Yeah, your music saves lives. I'm a true
does.
believer in that.
God, it really does. It at least helps you back to your feelings. I think in order to survive, we put them away, and so we need art to bring us back or a smell. You know, a smell just jogs your memory. Yep. Songs are like that as well. Like if you were to put on Don McLean's "Starry, Starry Night," I'm in the front seat of my dad's car, in a comforter with my pillow, and we're driving to North Carolina to see my grandparents.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yep, music, smell, all that scent stuff. It's amazing. Pink, you're amazing. You haven't changed a bit. I mean, you're the same
Isn't
person
that
as the year
terrible?
2000. No,
I'm working on it.
You're still down to earth, cool.
I really have been working on it.
The album's out now. We have a tour. And where do people go for more information? They probably already know,
have
but
no
go
idea.
ahead. You know, just Google Pink.
Follow Pink on Instagram. That's what I do.
Thank you.
We love you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
6.7